What's going on, guys? Stardust-oneworldreviews here. Welcome to my latest top 10 list where I'm discussing the top 10 Survivor contestants I didn't like or loved at first, but ended up loving or liking at some point. Now, Survivor is close to its 40th season and it had over like 600 contestants. And there are many that are loved and many that are hated, many that are just in the middle or whatever. Or the ones that you weren't huge on at first, but you end up loving a little bit on. And there are definitely some contestants, like ones that I wasn't huge on at first, ones that was like, yeah, really, I'm not a fan of this guy, whether it's because of personality or gameplay. But either they are much better in another season, or you might have been too harsh on them, or they might have gotten better as the season went along. Well, that it definitely has me sometimes, especially in terms of the opposite, with the contestants I did like, but I'm not liking, but that's a list for another day. And I thought this would be an interesting list to do, so I really hope you all enjoyed this list. I'm glad I have content with about Survivor. If you let me know what would be your Survivor contestant, what Survivor contestant that you didn't like at first, but ended up loving later on in the comments down below. And also there'll be no honorable mentions in this video, and personally this also is just my personal opinion on the ones I didn't like, but I ended up loving at first, so no be on the rush, let's get started with the list. Kicking off the list at number 10, Debbie Warner from Survivor Cal Wrong and Game Changers. Yeah, I'm as right as you are. Debbie, she is a lunatic. She is crazy as hell. There's a lot. She wants to claim she does like so many things and so much stuff. It's kind of crazy, honestly. And I remember being so annoyed by her in the first episode of Cal Wrong. Like, she was so crazy, so odd, so, oh my god, annoying. And she told all these crazy stories, and honestly when she got voted out both times, I was so happy. But looking back on it, I think, and this kind of case her fear cousins I'm talking about, is that she's as crazy or not, but I think that honestly adds to her trauma, honestly, because after looking back at Cal Wrong, I don't think she was as annoying as I thought she was. Like, I definitely understand why people were hating on her. I'm not saying I fully love her. I'm fully in love with her or whatever. I mean, it's why she's number 10 on this list. But there one that definitely has grown on me over time. And especially maybe as a game player, she was actually this one that she did. She definitely made Debbie was definitely a far more better. She's one of the few ones that actually tried to improve on her game, and she did try to improve on her game in the second time she played. So I have to give her props on that. She wasn't as far from annoying as she was last season. She actually tried to play a good game here, so my feelings like game players, I do give her props on that. So Debbie wasn't annoying, felt she was annoying at first, but she definitely grew on me a lot. And number 9 for me, Tyson Asphalt from Stardust Jeans, Heroes, Villains, and Blood vs. Water. Now, the first time I played, I really wasn't the biggest fan of him. Like, he wasn't like a bad contestant, but he kind of was kind of aggravating, got on my nerves a few times. And it's like, I don't know what it was about Dr. Jeans, but he did get my nerves in a few areas, not gonna lie. And here's Villains, he wasn't as bad, honestly. It wasn't mainly because he made one of the dumbest moves ever on Survivor. But Blood vs. Water, he actually improved a lot. Like, I kind of didn't like Blood vs. Water at first, but looking back in the season, I thought he actually was trying to improve on his game. He actually played the best game, actually. He's a very smart player. He played a good game. He tried to make friendships with people and all that. He was a lot more smart and a lot more kind, actually. Like, he was a lot more likable person. But I wasn't still kind of huge on Pokemon, which is probably why he's not as high on this list. But they said I am not really just like, whatever. Yeah. So I think he actually was a deserving winner of Blood vs. Water. Like, I didn't think at first, but over time I thought, yeah, I think he deserves to win. He really played an amazing game, Blood vs. Water. He definitely wasn't that bad if he was put him against, because he made one of the dumbest moves ever, so. But yeah, Tyson, at first, ended up loving him now. My number 8 might be the best surprise, but my number 8 is Cody Wentworth. But she's on the list for the reasons that you think. Like, I'm not saying like, I did not like her at all. I think, like, the first time that she played, I hardly remember anything about her, honestly. I think because she didn't really stir out much, honestly, in the first time she played. And again, she was from Rhino, whatever, but she never really stood out much in that season. She never did anything that I fully remember from that season. And when I found she was one of the people to be taking a chance, I wasn't sure what the thing, and then when she ended up, I was like, I don't know. But it just instantly, she became my favorite that season. Like, instantly, she became my favorite in Cambodia. Like I love thinking about her. She was my favorite that season. I was actually hoping that other than Germany, I was hoping that she would win. She really played the best game out of anybody that season. Of course, she's on the current season Edge and Extinction, which I'm still hoping she would win, so. Again, she's not really as high because again, she wasn't making that far in the first time she played, so. Not much, but now that I wasn't a huge fan of her, she was kind of forgettable that the first time she played. But instantly in Cambodia, she ended up becoming my favorite that season, and I still love in the current season fiction, so. Yeah, went for it, ended up becoming that almost forgettable to end up playing one of my all-time favorites. So, love her. And number 7, for me, is Shireen from Worlds Apart and Cambodia. Shireen, I remember being kind of annoyed by her in like the first few episodes. But then, I think it was on I remember I think it was pretty much I was kind of annoyed by her. I think because of her annoying antics and her weird behavior. I kind of I really, I just. She probably was one that really just didn't affect me or whatever. She was kind of weird, kind of for the sake of it, and she does end up really bothering me a lot. And I think once I told the merge where she actually improved on me, in fact, I really liked her a lot more, honestly. And especially I felt bad for her, because I'm sure you know that incident with Will. That incident with Will, we're treating in a couple of kind of thought that Will was scheming for himself, and then Will just blew up and said a lot of personal stuff to Shireen, which if you're a fan, I think you already know, but if you're not, he basically just went at her and said, like, I've got nobody's home as I'm missing you right now. You got nothing. Like, she pretty much personally attacked her. Like, wow. I really was hard about her. I actually wanted her to make it fun the game. And I was kind of sad when she got voted out. And I definitely was excited when she was going to be Cambodia. Until she ended up being the second one voted out. I was definitely. I love Cambodia. But I was sad that Shrin didn't make it form she did, honestly. It was really unfortunate, honestly. Because Shrin, I wasn't huge on her pretty much, but she ended up really improving on me over time. At number 6, Russell Hands. Yeah, I know. But I can't help it. The guy is because one of the best villains for a reason. And in truth, the guy is kind of menacing. He's definitely evil, but he kind of knows that he plays the maniacal villain and ends up trying to make the biggest moves possible, and he basically goes for it. The first episode in general is pretty much a mention of Russell is, but the reason why I thought is because I didn't really fully appreciate him throughout most of the season. I didn't really appreciate him very time because back then I wasn't really the hugest on villains and all that. Again, around time I was still more getting into Survivor because I wasn't fully knowledge on villains or whatever. But I really never really appreciated Russell Match Fight, and I really want them to go in some areas at some point. Like I was hoping he would make it to the end. But looking back on the season, the guy really has grown on me. And I do remember being surprised that the guy actually didn't win. Now he's actually more deserving one thing about it, but I remember being surprised that Russell didn't win, honestly. And I actually didn't mind him here versus villains, actually. But he's probably one of the best parts of that season. And then, of course, he'd be on Neptune Island, which, again, the first one brought on 5, and he even ended up being in a different version of Survivor. He ended up being in an Australian version of Survivor, where on the first world, he ended up getting the first one brought out of his tribe, which honestly I'm not surprised by. But yeah, Yeah, Russell, he's someone I wasn't a huge fan of at first, but he definitely has grown on me a lot. And when I'm not the biggest fan of Russell, only like one of my all-time favorites, he's definitely one I definitely do respect. Now in top 5, and then number 5, just Jonathan Penner. Jonathan Penner. And I'm sure I'm sure there's one guy that people come to mind when thinking of this is like they didn't like it first, but end up loving later on. Because I remember not being the hugest fan of him when I first watched Cook Island. I remember he was kind of irritating, bonkers, or just wasn't really the nicer guy, honestly. And he was kind of irritating in some areas. I thought he was kind of a jerk at some points, honestly. Honestly, like, I remember he was on Indonesia. You know, I did kind of feel sad when he evacuated. But I also think it was in the Philippines where I actually fully appreciated more at Penner. Like, I could do that in the Philippines that he was actually trying more to improve himself in previous seasons. He became a much more interesting player, much more likable person, and much more fun person. And he had one of my favorites that season. And I don't think he actually wasn't as bad for Islands as I originally thought it was, honestly. Honestly, he definitely played the best game, but never was rated the best. I didn't, I kind of like him Cook Islands, even someone Micronesia. Like he's someone I probably was a bit too harsh on, honestly, looking back on him. He's someone I do really appreciate and like now. I really want him to actually go farther in the Philippines, honestly. I wanted him to even make it to the end, honestly. Yeah, I really wanted Penn to actually make it to the end that season. Like, I really like him that much, honestly. So it's unfortunate he didn't. He had to finish the same places in Cook Islands, but yeah, Penn is still great. He's still cool, and I kind of wish I saw that student, honestly. Because I was kind of not huge on him with Cook Islands at first, and even Indonesia, but I ended up liking him more that season. So, Penn, I'm truly am a fan. I can never say I'm truly am a fan of yours. At number 4, speaking of this, I didn't appreciate more, and that is Chaos Cast. Yes, I'm not my Chaos Cast here. Yeah, I remember sorry that Sarah Von Dyke being one of the biggest fans ever. I remember not liking her much after that. Like, wasn't sure after about Cass later on, but just want to end up. The children basically was kind of crazy for the sake of it and wanted to contemplate mischief just for the sake of it. But again, like I think that honestly really added to her charm, that really added to her fun and intriguing nature. Cass is definitely a very unpredictable and interesting contestant. She definitely is kind of crazy and insane, and she definitely likes to cause chaos, and that's why we call her Chaos Cass. She called that for a reason. But, again, that all really adds to her memorability and her awesomeness. And I don't understand why people wouldn't like her, obviously, but all I'm saying is really what makes her such an entertaining presence. I didn't like the Cambodia, actually. But she was at least trying to change her Chaos Cast ways. I mean, she made a little bit went onto, which I thought was actually kind of sweet. And she did try to prove that she kind of ended up going back to the cast, but at least she tried. At least she was trying to improve gameplay. So I give her props on that. And honestly, I won't even mind seeing Cass play again, honestly. I enjoy her that much. So yeah, I really hope she does play again. I wasn't really huge on her first because of her behavior, but her behavior is kind of what makes her such an interesting presence and one that adds to her charm, which, as I mentioned before, you're going to see more of these on this list. But all that really adds to what on makes Cast such a memorable presence. At number 3, at least a few times I thought hated those seasons, but now I can say I was probably too much on them and I now love them. So yeah, number 3, believe it or not, Philip Shepard from Redemption Island and Karamora. No, when I Redemption Island, I hated Philip. I fucking couldn't stand the guy. He was so irritating, so crazy, so psychotic in the worst way, so annoying and frustrating. Like, this guy freaking get almost every vote ever dropped down. So that's probably the operation of how irritating probably even everybody else was, honestly. But looking back on it, I think I was probably way too much on Philip. Redemption Island's still not a good season. But I think Phil wasn't even that bad, honestly. Like, he was kind of like that, but I don't know why I don't know why I hate all that. I think all that really added a lot to his charm, and there was something that was pretty funny, honestly. He wasn't even that bad Kimono, honestly, even though him was kind of causing that brain situation. But it was actually kind of funny, and I think the best way to describe Philip, honestly. He was kind of funny. He was crazy, but kind of crazy that sounds kind of funny. It's kind of similar to like how Wendy was this season Extinction, which was so crazy and over the top, but yeah, I couldn't, and something I probably shouldn't like, but I couldn't help laughing. I kind of feel the same way about Philip, honestly, looking back on him, like he was kind of crazy and all that, but I don't really add stuff to his drum, honestly. I don't know if I was seeing play for the third time, honestly, but he's someone that's so over the top and insane that I couldn't help but love him or get back on it. Yeah, I hate the guy, but I think it's way too much on him. Number 2, we got Coach from Token Chains, Hero vs. Villains, and Stop Pacific. And now he's in LeBron, I was kind of too harsh on the one with the thoughts I hated about him. Really add a lot to the charm of what makes him such a memorable presence, and maybe in a good way. Like, I remember for Token Chains, I was like, first I was like, okay, he's definitely an interesting one. But all this talk about Dragon Slang and all this she stuff, all this stuff he's constantly saying kind of I remember really annoyed me. He's the one I really wanted out just like that, honestly. Like, I wasn't kind of like, yay, when he got voted out. Just, I don't know what it is, I don't know what it is about him, but he really got on my nerves. And I feel like then they played. Same here, I remember not actually much here for the villains either. Yeah, but again, looking back on the season thing where you watching those seasons, Coach really was not as bad as I thought Lost was. I kind of love the guy, actually. All the stuff really, all the stuff I mentioned before, and I did like, really add a lot of what makes him such an interesting person. I mean, he's definitely a unique fellow, and I mean that in a good way. He's definitely someone that's very unique and very out there. And again, I mean that in a good way. The last stuff that was pretty funny, pretty clever, and cool. And despite how much I really do not like South Pacific, he was definitely one of the better parts of that season. I mean, again, I was being honest about to him while conquering in my top 10 best biases in bad seasons. And unfortunately, I'm going to conquering, but that's when I like Coach A list. And honestly, I don't know if no one thinks this, but honestly, I think he should have won that season. I think it's Sophie or anything, but I think Coach Allen, despite him something to betray his moral code or whatever, I thought he was more deserving that season. I thought he was more deserving to win in that season. Again, I don't know how Link says, but I thought he was more deserving to win in that season. Again, not against the person actually won, but I thought honestly for him he was more deserving of a title. He ended up finishing second, unfortunately. And that's really how much I really have Coach has really grown on me, and I actually really want him to win. I ended up really not liking this guy at all, just loving him. Again, very unique fellow, but again, I mean that in a good way. And now, my number 1 Survivor contestant I didn't like or hate at first, but ended up liking or loving later on, Tony Vlachos from Survivor Conquiana. Now, if you know your best Survivor fan, I think most of you probably should have always expect Tony to be somewhere on this list. All contestants on this list, he's the one I think I've been the most too harsh on, and the ones I didn't expect. Cause I remember I hated this guy. This is also back to my Snow kind of hated Russell bits, and I thought he was more of a Russell 2.0, where he was acting mean and all that for the sake of it. He was acting ruthless for the sake of it and all that. He was too villainy, too crazy and all that. And then he actually ended up winning the season, which I'm like, but Russell, you can't think that's Russell, so what did he do that Russell didn't? I remember I was complaining so much about that win. Like, so much about that. But looking back on Kagiana, which I also think is one of the very best seasons of Survivor, Tony was actually now one of my favorite things about that season. Like, he does kind of act like a Russell Hands, but he does it in a more different and actually more different way to where you can actually understand what he did. And unlike Russell Hands, to a certain extent, he actually does care about what's going on. He's not like too ruthless, honestly. As much as I do respect all fans, he does still act kind of too ruthless. Here, he's not. He's not ruthless to where he didn't kind of break a promise by swearing at his badge or whatever, and a couple of things, but he will at least admit to that. He at least apologized to that, so I do give him my respect. But his gameplay was actually pretty interesting. Do I remind you of the freaking Spice Shack? Like, do I? Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this top 10 list. If there are any suggestions that you really didn't like or love at first, but end up liking or loving later on, if you let me know what the comments down below. I would love to know what your success would be for you if you are a Spider fan. So, let me know what would be those successes for you in the comments down below. And I'll probably have to go the episode what how much I liked it first, but I'm disliking or hating. That's gonna be for another day though. But you know, we're doing this video and all that. That movie's gonna be very soon. As always, thank you so much for watching. I truly, honestly appreciate it. If you haven't already, be sure to like this video, be sure to share and subscribe, be sure to follow all my social media sites, all the description down below. I am Stardust-oneworldreviews from Stardust-oneworldreviews. I'll see you next time, and stay cooler, everybody. Peace.